In order to install the sign at Gary Plaza, bring all the supplies upstairs with you. You'll need cleaning material or rubbing alcohol, some paper towels, a stiff ruler, tape, and the sign to be installed. The first step is to clean off the sign. When the old glue has been removed, we'll position the sign approximately in its final location. You can use the borders on the sign to line up with the edge of the base plate. So I'm so far lined up the edges, so this edge here lines up with the base plate, and this edge on this side line up with the base plate. To position it vertically, line up the edge of the border on the sign, move it up to the edge of the base plate. In this case, it needs to go up about 1/4 of an inch. Make sure the edge of the base plate lines up with the border on the sign in each of the notches that were cut, and that it should also remain lined up with the edges and the notches that were cut. Place a piece of tape to hold it temporarily in place. Step back and make sure that the sign is straight. If the sign looks okay, add additional pieces of tape to the bottom edge to hold it in place.
Is it supposed to be closed?
Make sure that the pieces of tape on the bottom are firmly in place, because when the backing is peeled off the sign, these will be holding the sign level. When the sign is firmly in place, fold the sign down to remove the backing. Peel the backing off slowly so that none of the letters come off onto the backing. Sometimes it helps to peel at a 45-degree angle If you notice that a letter does come off with the backing, reverse the backing, press the vinyl letter back onto the front, and then remove the backing a second time. The backing of the sign has now been removed. We use our ruler, not a flexible ruler, a stiff ruler, to help us make sure the sign is pressed into place without any bubbles. Stick the sign to the edge of the ruler. Without sticking any letters yet, make sure the sign is ready to fold back up without any creases. Brace yourself, because this might take a little bit of time. Starting from the very bottom edge, make sure the sign folds over, folding back up, and working your way from the bottom up, press the sign, the lettering against the base plate, smoothing it out as you go so no air bubbles form. You can control the speed at which you're folding the sign up with the ruler. Even where there's no letters, continue to smooth out the sign so that no creases form. When the sign's been folded in place, don't pull off the front until you press each letter onto the sign backboard. Now the ruler can be removed. The front of the sign can be slowly peeled off. Go slowly and at a 45-degree angle to make sure you don't pull off any of the vinyl letters with the front of the sign. If a letter does peel off with the front of the sign, roll the sign back over and press the vinyl letter firmly onto the backboard. In this case, a piece of vinyl stuck to the backing. We're going to roll it back into place and press it down a little more firmly. Another piece came off onto the backing, so we're going to roll it back. Make sure it's pressed down firmly, and then pull the front over again. now the sign has been installed.